Welcome, crypto fam, to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. In today's show, I'll be breaking down the latest Bitcoin technical analysis. As you can see, Bitcoin back on the rise. We reclaimed $61,000. And quoting Max from a throwback, September 19, 2017, when China, USA, Japan, and Russia enter into the Bitcoin mining space race for dominance, the price will hit my $10,000 interim target quickly. And lo and behold, we blew right past it. We'll also be discussing Bitcoin whales loading their bags, literally $1.7 billion in Bitcoin flow out of the exchanges. We'll also be discussing the U.S. court orders bankrupt crypto exchange FTX to pay $12.7 billion to former customers and fraud victims. We'll also be discussing Harris campaign's crypto reset questioned amid the Fed crackdown. I'll be breaking down her true intentions, as well as Bitcoin primed to break out and explode by up to 86%. According to crypto analyst Kevin Svensson, I'll be sharing his timeline. And speaking of bullish price predictions, Bitcoin bounces back after the market jitters, and Arthur Hayes forecasts a $1 million Bitcoin price for this cycle. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more, in today's show. So if you're new to the channel, very important to smash the likes, hit the subscribe button, and then hit that sexy bell icon to turn on all notifications to receive daily premium crypto news alerts every single day, 7 days a week, just like this. Today is pod episode number 1726. I'm your host, JV. It's August 10th, 2024. Happy Sat Stacking Saturday. It's that time. Finally, a bullish weekend after two bearish, extremely bearish weekends, right? So here we are. Let's kick it off with our market watch, as we do each and every day. As you can see on your screen, brought to you by Coin360. We got Bitcoin in the green on the day, trading above 61,200. We have ETH up 0.7%, trading back above 2,600. Solana in the green, XRP in the green, Cardano in the green, Tron in the green, virtually everything in the green. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. The current crypto market cap is sitting at $2.13 trillion. The Bitcoin market cap is sitting at $1.2 trillion. And as far as volume, we got 45, almost 46 billion worth of volume for the past 24 hours. And we have the Bitcoin dominance at 56.5%. Ether dominance is pretty low right now at 14.7%. How high do you think that Bitcoin dominance will climb for the cycle? Let me know. Checking out top 100 crypto gainers in the past 24 hours. We got Aptos up 11%, Sue up 10%, Wormhole up 8.5%. Let me know what alts, if any, you're bullish on for the bull, and I'll read those out loud after I finish this segment. And checking out the crypto bubbles to get a visual perspective on the daily. Safe to say roughly 90% of the market in the green pumping. We love to see that. But zooming out on the monthly, to get back in reality, unfortunately, the majority of the market is wrecked over the past month, maybe 85% roughly. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index, today we're in fear with a 40. Yesterday was neutral, 48. Last week at 37, and last month at 29. In fear. So there you have it, yo. But anyways, let's dive into today's Bitcoin technical analysis. Check out the charts where the price action is likely to take us next. I'll also be pulling up some of the live charts. So let's freaking go. Headline reads, Bitcoin bull bear cycle indicator flips bullish as the price holds 60 G's, baby. That's right. The Bitcoin bull market cycle indicator, which tracks the investor sentiment phases, has flipped to signal bullish conditions. Where my bulls at? Following 3 days of flashing red as the Bitcoin price plummeted to levels not seen since February. That's right, yo. We hit a low of 49 freaking thousand and then just bounced right back. Now, quoting Crypto Quant CEO, most Bitcoin on-chain cyclical indicators that were hovering near the borderline have now shifted back to signaling a bull market. Bitcoin is still in a bull market, according to Plan B. And if you missed yesterday's podcast, check it out, because I shared all the latest predictions from Plan B, including he believes Bitcoin will hit 100,000 still for this year in 2024, and that will average around 500,000 per coin for this cycle. And from 2028 to 2032, he projects Bitcoin hovering at around $4 million per coin, which is a pretty lit prediction. So I encourage you to check it if you missed it. Now, Bitcoin was discounted for only 3 days, according to the CryptoQuant CEO. The analysis came after Bitcoin fell to 49.7 on August 5th. How many of you bought the dip? Holla, which is being called the Crypto Black Monday. It was the first drop below 50,000 since February, where we recaptured 60 Gs. I remember it was the day after my birthday because I recall it. It was actually February 12th, to be exact. Now, Bitcoin then traded below the critical key level of 60 Gs until August 8th, according to CoinMarketCap. And as you can see, Bitcoin's right back above 61 Gs. The Bitcoin bull bear market cycle indicator hadn't flashed the bear signal since January of last year in 2023, shortly after the FTX collapse. And it wasn't alone in signaling the bearish sentiment. As I pointed out earlier, the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, as soon as we hit that extreme fear score, we bounce, which is very typical, and hence why we love to use that particular indicator. Now, analysts are split on what's going to happen next. Some think Bitcoin's recent downturn mirrors the previous trends before the bull runs. Others are more skeptical. Let me know your thoughts. 10x Research head of research, Marcus Thielen, stated that to ideally time the next bull market entry, we aim for the Bitcoin price to fall below 40,000. Personally, I think the bottom is in with that recent 49 crash, but I want to know your thoughts, family, and I'll read that out loud in a little bit. Also, Kathy Wood's investment firm ARK Invest stated that Bitcoin's most important price supports are at 52 and 46. And then we have veteran trader Peter Brandt explained that the Bitcoin decline since the halving is now similar to that of 2015 to 2017, the halving bull market cycle, suggesting that a bull run may follow. But I want to know your thoughts. But first, let's shout out Max Keiser because he made a bold prediction back on September 19, 2017. Here's the receipt. When China, USA, Japan, and Russia enter into the Bitcoin mining space race for dominance, the price will hit 10,000 interim target quickly. And if you guys remember, by December of 2017, which was a few months after he made this post, we hit a new all-time high, hitting almost 20,000, which was the cycle high for that particular epoch of the market. And lo and behold, the space race is incoming because now we have game theory in full effect. Russia embracing Bitcoin and crypto mining. I shared that breaking news just the other day. Trump, if he is elected, going to be embracing and stockpiling the Bitcoin. So it's game on, family. Yeah, I mean, pretty lit. And checking out some of the live chart action. Let me switch up the scene for you guys to see even cleaner. Should be able to see right about here. Let me know. So yeah, here you can see Bitcoin hovering at around 61,000 live and in the flesh, brought to you via TradingView via Coinbase Exchange. And let's zoom out from the hourly. We'll check out the 4 hour, get some different looks real quick. And I'll share any targets I see here breaking right now. So this is the 4 hour chart. Right now, pretty much sideways action Jackson. No target specifically on the 4 hour. We'll check out the 1 day chart. Again, live and in the flesh. We had a mega green candle yesterday, almost a God candle. And we define God candle as a $10,000 uptick on the daily chart. We had roughly 8,000 before correcting a little, after that. So we were very close. And that means we got the demigod candle, which is 5,000 or more on a single, daily chart. As you can see here, that big, sexy Godzilla green candle. But unfortunately, yesterday was a corrective red into where we're currently at. And there is a target, as you can see, here on the 1 day chart, sitting at $47,700. And now let's zoom out to the weekly, which is one of the most bullish charts in Bitcoin because we have that sexy cup and handle target still sitting just shy of 126,000. And then we'll zoom out on the monthly, a little broader perspective. They say when in doubt, just zoom out. And as you can see here, a little sideways action on the monthly, but I am hoping for a strong bullish August close. But let me know your thoughts, family. Where do you feel that price action will likely take us next? Holla at your boy. Next story of the day. We do got a lot to cover as we always do each and every day. Let's discuss the latest whale activity, eh? Happy Sastack and Saturday, fam. Bitcoin whales load their bags. 1.7 billion in Bitcoin flow out of the exchanges. That's right. According to the latest on-chain data, significant amounts of the biddy have moved out of the crypto exchanges. So the question becomes, what does this mean? And how will it affect the biddy price? Let's discuss it. According to recent data from Into the Block, more than 28,000 biddies worth $1.7 billion were transferred out of the crypto exchanges in the past week. This on-chain revelation is based on changes in the net flow metric, which monitors the amount of particular crypto sent in and out of centralized exchanges. An increase in the net flow signals that more funds are entering than leaving crypto exchanges. And on the other hand, when the metric's value falls below, it implies that more crypto assets are flowing out than into the trading platforms. And as shown on that chart, we just scroll right through here. The net flows metric for Bitcoin has been on the decline over the past few days, implying that the larger investors have been transferring their assets from centralized exchanges. And according to Into the Block, there's 1.7 billion worth of the biddy withdrawn in the last 7-day period, which is the largest outflow seen within the time frame so far this year in 2024. Nacho keys, nacho coins, nacho keys, nacho cheese. And ultimately what that means is remove your crypto from the exchanges, because if it's not in a self-custody wallet, you don't really own it because you don't control your own private keys, family. So that's the safest thing you can do. The smartest thing is to learn how to properly self-custody your biddies. But although it is difficult to tell the rationale behind the massive exodus, crypto movements of this magnitude away from centralized exchanges typically indicate a shift in investor sentiment. Now, that's right. It suggests a change in holding strategy or even fresh accumulation by the larger investors, showing their faith and long-term promise of the Bitcoin. And moreover, the decline in the availability of the premier crypto on the trading platforms could result in a supply crunch. Supply shock, send it. Ultimately, this fall in the Bitcoin exchange reserve may trigger a surge in the Bitcoin price. There's only so many biddies to go around on the exchanges. So another thing to keep in mind, we will have a supply shock, family. It's only a matter of time as the Bitcoin supply continues to dwindle on these exchanges. But here's the deal. Let's dive into our next story of the day and discuss the FTX payback. I believe 12.7 billion about to be repaid, at least according to the headline here, which reads, U.S. court orders bankrupt crypto exchange FTX to pay $12.7 billion to former customers and fraud victims. Damn, that's a lot of money. Jesus Christ. The U.S. court ordered the bankrupt crypto exchange FTX to pay $12.7 billion in monetary relief to customers who suffered losses when the company collapsed back in 2022. How many of you remember that? Let me know. And a new statement from the CFTC says the order requires FTX to pay $8.7 billion in restitution and $4 billion in disgorgement to further compensate those who fell victim to the exchange's fraudulent scheme. Want to know the biggest winner since the collapse of FTX? Lawyers. In December of 2022, the CFTC filed a fraud complaint against FTX, its founder, Bankman-Fried, and former company executives, alleging they misappropriated customer funds for their own use and benefit. You know something that kind of went under the radar? Caroline Ellison's supposed to have had a trial for her sentencing. Never heard anything about it since. No updates. So I wonder what really happened behind closed doors, family. The regulator says that these orders resolved its litigation against the exchange, but notes that the case is still pending for SBF and former FTF executive Caroline Ellison, Gary Wang, and Ashad Singh. And my question is, what about the other Sam that got away with it? And his name was never referenced in any of the lawsuits, which is another mystery. And I'm talking about Sam. I think his last name was like Tabuco or Taboko, something weird. Anyways, he was the one with Katy Perry pictures and pictures on yachts flexing. Kind of ironic that he just disappeared from the case as well. Let me know your thoughts on that mystery. The order also requires FTX and its sister company Alameda to cooperate with the CFTC on its ongoing litigation. CFTC Chairman Rostin Behan commends the development, but says more needs to be done. Quoting him here, as I have been saying for years, this is just the tip of the iceberg. In the absence of the digital asset legislation to fill the regulatory gaps, entities will continue to operate in the shadows without these basic tools of sound regulation, sharpening their deceptive practices and continuing to dupe the customers. How many of you have been duped? Let me know. The CFTC had agreed in a related settlement approved by the bankruptcy court for the District of Delaware not to seek civil monetary penalty against FTX and to subordinate its monetary claims to close of the victims. Now, in May, it was reported FTX bankruptcy estate estimated it would hold between $14.5 billion and $16.3 billion in proceeds by the end of September. Good Lord, so much money missing in action. I just hope those who got taken advantage of, who had their funds on the exchange, get repaid. But I also heard rumors everyone is going to get the fiat equivalent of the Bitcoin price at the bottom when it was like 16 or 17,000. How it should work in a perfect world. If you had one Bitcoin on the exchange of FTX and then they file for bankruptcy and you never got your Bitcoin and you're waiting, they should return that one Bitcoin. They should return the initial asset you had in the exchange. However, corrupt government, corrupt executives, or whoever you want to blame and point the finger at, they decided to pay you back the price of Bitcoin in fiat dollar terms at the bottom of the cycle. Now, tell me that's not corrupt Yeah, I mean, now correct me if I'm wrong, but that's my understanding of how it works. That's why you should never keep your Bitcoin on the exchanges and always keep it properly in self-custody. Thank me later. And next, let's dive into the next story, next story. Here's the latest with Kamala Harris. That's right. She's in the headlines today. Harris campaign's crypto reset question amid the Fed crackdown. Question, do you trust this lady? Yay or nay? Let me know in the live chat. I want to know if you trust Miss Harris when it comes to cryptocurrency in particular. The enforcement action taken by the U.S. Federal Reserve against the crypto-friendly customer bank has sparked speculation that Vice President Kamala Harris' presidential campaign may not be genuine. I'm in shock. In its efforts to mend relations with the crypto industry. Now, on August 9th, Gemini co-founder of the Winklevoss twin, Tyler, took to X to highlight the Fed's actions. Quoting him here, today, the Fed confirmed that Operation Choke Point 2.0 remains in full swing, provided valuable insight into how it works, and verified that the Harris crypto reset is a scam. And I agree 100% with the Winklevoss. Let me know your thoughts. And shout out to the McFoofinator. He just became a member of the Huddle Gang for the next 5 months. Greatly appreciate your support, loyalty, and dedication to the stream family. Let's go. Yeah, so check it. The Fed's 13-page enforcement action against Customer Bank mandates it to provide a 30-day advance notice before entering any new banking relationship with a crypto company. So Kamala, just like Joe Biden, represents the central banking cartel, so I am not surprised or shocked by this. Regardless of what they say, you got to follow the actions of what they actually do. Winklevoss highlighted the broader implications of the enforcement action, stating Customer Bank is one of the few remaining crypto-friendly banks in the United States. He said that the Federal Reserve is now controlling access to banking services for crypto companies, essentially deciding who can and cannot open a bank account, thereby limiting their ability to operate. As Tyler Winklevoss points out right here in the headline, today the Fed confirmed Operation Choke Point 2.0 remains full swing, provided valuable insight how it works, and we all know anything coming from them is always a scam. He criticized the centralization of decision-making power within the Fed, arguing such decisions should be decentralized across the banking industry and make at each bank's discretion to be made. Now, Hoskinson joins the Winklevoss twins. We're talking about the Cardano founder, Charles Hoskinson. He echoed the sentiment that the U.S. currently is hostile towards the crypto industry, meaning the current administration, the Dems. Hoskinson believes that Biden's admin is actively working against the crypto industry. Of course, I mean, it's common sense, right? And this stance has not changed. He warns that voting for Harris would harm the United States crypto industry. Fact, that's fact. Implying that she would continue this perceived war on crypto 110%. There isn't a iota percentage fraction of her embracing Bitcoin when her controllers and her puppet masters are anti-motherfucking Bitcoin. Let that sink through your head, family. In a letter sent to the Democratic National Committee, Chairman Jamie Harrison, July, a group of the U.S. lawmakers and congressional candidates from various districts called on party leaders to adopt a progressive stance on digital assets and blockchain tech. But between March and August of last year, 2023, the U.S. banking sector faced a tumultuous period marked by the downfall of several banks. Yeah, the regional banking crisis, that catered to the crypto businesses. This was an attack on crypto, clearly, including Silvergate Bank, Signature Bank, and Silicon Valley Bank. Enemies of Bitcoin, do not trust them, including JP Morgan Chase's CEO, Jamie Dimon. So yeah, this headline reads, Bitcoin primed to break out and explode by up to 86%, according to analyst Kevin Svensson. So here is his timeline. He shares on YouTube that Bitcoin has formed a bullish divergence pattern on the daily chart. A bullish divergence occurs when the price of an asset is trading down or sideways, while an oscillator such as the momentum indicator, relative strength index, better known as the RSI, is in the uptrend. The signal suggests that the bullish momentum is on the up and up. Quoting Svensson here, we got actually a slightly higher low in the RSI. You could also call it flat support, horizontal support, and upon that flat support, we had lower lows in the price. That is a bullish divergence. So what is happening on the Bitcoin chart? Well, what we see is a broadening pattern of sorts. Lower highs, but even lower lows, as outlined right here. Now, a broadening pattern is a technical formation that can be viewed as a bullish continuation pattern if the asset manages to take out its diagonal resistance. Svensson says that the Bitcoin price can skyrocket by 60% from the current levels if Bitcoin rallies above the pattern's resistance at around 68 G's, baby. Quoting him here alongside the chart, going from a low of around 49,000 to the potential breakout zone at around 68 G's, and then you look for a target using that. That actually lands us towards $97,000. So that is the target of this pattern. And you can see me doing some wax on, wax off. I have an insane amount of gnats flying too close to my airspace, which I refer to as my mouth. And yesterday I swallowed a few of those suckers trying to avoid it. Using the Fibonacci extension tool, the analyst says that 88,000 and 113,000 per Bitcoin are the two other targets in its sights, representing potential gains of 45 and 86%. Respectively. And on when Bitcoin can reach these particular price targets, here's what the analyst has to share. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. It is going to take quite some time for this to play out fully. Price may actually end up, squeezing into this range between 49 and 70,000, chopping around for quite a while before getting the breakout. That breakout can take place in September, which is next month, right around the corner, 3 weeks out. But let me know your thoughts, family. Do you agree with Kevin Svensson? Do you believe we can hit this massive target? Eventually 88 G's, new all-time high, 113,000, and as high as I think he pointed out, what do you say, 119,000. Let me know your thoughts, family, and I'll read those comments out loud before we dive into our featured story of the day. So now for our featured story of the day, Bitcoin bounces back after the market jitters with Arthur Hayes forecasting a $1 million Bitcoin price projection, particularly for this cycle. So send it and let's freaking go, yo. So as you can see, the price of Bitcoin briefly jumped above 62 G's, baby. Friday morning, which marked an upturn for Bitcoin because it just plunged to 49,000 the day before. And as I've been saying, family, expect extreme volatility post-halving because we always have extreme volatility. In fact, we went from almost 70 during a pump watch 2 weeks ago on our freaking live stream to all the way down to 49 and then right back to 62. Crazy, right? The surge of the Bitcoin performance was owed to the better than expected U.S. unemployment insurance figures that were released last week. According to the U.S. Labor Department, last week saw roughly 233,000 unemployment claims, despite economists' projections that the numbers would be higher. Bitcoin also saw at least $91 billion in trades, according to recent data from CoinGlass, despite Goldman Sachs increasing its U.S. recession forecast in 2025 to 25% from 15%, so they upped it 10%. Many analysts believe Monday's jittery market might have been an overreaction, with the Federal Reserve likely to prop up the economy next month through interest rate cuts. Moreover, we have crypto entrepreneur and BitMEX ex-CEO Arthur Hayes just blaze predicts that Bitcoin might even spike all the way up to 1 million per coin, 7 figures, baby. Let's go. Now for the kicker. During the current market cycle, 1 milli. How would that impact your life, family? Hypothetically, if we hit that target, holla, quoting him here. The Bitcoin price in this cycle is going to go very, very, very high. Hayes shared with the news recently hundreds of thousands of dollars and maybe even 1 million. Continuing his quote, there's so much debt that needs to be rolled over. We are entering a period where the global monetary architecture is completely changing. And he also says, we don't know what it's going to be, but the people who have made the most of the last 80 years are going to be very resistant to change. Must be talking about the Warren Buffetts, clearly. Anyways, Hayes also pointed out that the former President Trump's Bitcoin reserve proposal seemed improbable. Quoting him here, I find it almost impossible that will get done. Even if Trump is elected, he said, you're going to need to have a certain amount of people vote for this. And if this is going to somehow negatively impact the U.S. Treasury or Fed or visibility to maintain the U.S. Treasury market. So it sounds like, in my humble opinion, Arthur Hayes just blaze understands the corruption within the United States government and behind the scenes with the Federal Reserve. And they're ultimately saying, even if Trump makes those promises, he feels it's virtually improbable, virtually impossible that it will actually get done because it's not in the U.S. Treasury or the Fed's best interest. And who controls America behind the scenes in the shadow government? It's the Federal Reserve, which has nothing to do with being federal. It's private bankers. It's banking cartels that control, the economy. So what if everyone embraces Bitcoin, including the U.S.? They'd be shooting themselves in the foot. you guys got to keep that in mind, family. He does make a very valid point, but let me know your thoughts also surrounding his $1 million price projection. Do you think it's a potential possibility for this particular cycle, 2024, 2025? Holla at your boy. Next halving not occurring till 2028. So the next epoch, 2028, 2032, that's where Plan B projects Bitcoin will be hovering at around 4 million per coin on average, as I covered in yesterday's pod. If you missed it, you're going to have to check it out. But there you go. Welcome, everyone, to the Q&A segment of the live show. I'm about to light some more sage. Yeah, so let me know your thoughts surrounding some of those projections and, your thoughts on Arthur Hayes, the U.S. government. Do you think they will legitimately stockpile Bitcoin as Trump promised they would do? Or do you think there's a conflict there? Let me know your honest thoughts. I'll read everyone's comments out loud regardless. So at least I'll do my best to do so. Over 1,500 people on the stream. We lighten the sage. We got the bean of fire. You got caffeinated JV. Don't get no better than that. Just saying. So let's go. Oh, no worries. If I get him high, we will all pass the firmament without him noticing. Once we are at the moon, he won't mind. Very interesting convo there. And family, we're going to be playing a brand new track in a little bit that Chandy produced. Never heard before, never played before. I just received it today. So shout out Chandy 10 Music. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, fam. She's very close to 90,000 subs. My guess is by within 2 weeks, she's going to cross the 100,000 subscriber milestone, which is a pretty big deal. So make sure you're following her. 1 million easy. My current TA target based on the BLX weekly is 3 milli by the next halving. It sits at the 1.236 Fibonacci from inception. I appreciate that, Greg. Stop swallowing flies. I wish I could. Actually, a R3, I agree. Greg, now it's time to cruise, not the race. Felt young for a second there, yeah? Yes, JV will conclude Earth was never real then. We're in a simulation. This is a virtual reality. We're in the Matrix. We're spiritual beings, Silas, having a human experience. Is anything we truly see real? Is this desk solid or is it energy? That's my question for you. Holy ish. She got more followers than JV. That's insane. Yeah. So she started producing, referring to Chandy 10 Music here, she started producing very epic music here for the channel and uploading it to her new channel. And she hit close to 90,000 subs in roughly 6 weeks. Phenomenal YouTube growth. I've never seen a new YouTuber have that level of success, but it's just a testament to how good her music is because people love it. Our audience loves it. I love it. And the algorithm is loving it. So she's blowing up. And I love it. Only a matter of time before she has 1 million subscribers and becomes the largest, in my opinion, AI music creator. I think her music transcends only Bitcoin, though it's one of the many topics of focus, clearly, as a Bitcoiner. But it's pretty phenomenal. And AI is the future. So she's on the forefront of 2 major industries that are exploding. Bitcoin and AI. Rocket ship to the moon. But you already know that.